the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank.
Okay, so here's what's going on. So I went to Home Depot and I got me some nice plywood. This right here is 4x8, 4 feet, 8 feet, or 8x4, whichever way you want to call it. This right here, one plywood 8x4, cost me about $65 plus taxes, of course. So I had them pre-cut in half so that I can customize the actual width of the shelf, but it looks like I'm gonna be working on about 21 inches in width. So I'm gonna pre-cut this area right here, but the cool thing is you can actually pre-cut the plywood at Home Depot, in case you didn't know that. All right, so here we go, ladies and gents. We got the 2x4s. We got about 12 pieces. 2 of them already finished. We're gonna go ahead and stain them before we work on the wood shelf. I ran out of stain materials, so until next time, but this is what it's gonna look like. I might have to redo this one right here. All right, so I used the following concrete screw anchors right here. As you guys can see, they're about a 3 1/4 inch, and diameter is a 1/4 inch, so about 3 inches and a quarter. Here's what they look like, and what I did is I basically bolted one here, one in the middle, and then one on the other edge. But the way I did it is basically I pre-drilled the holes on the 2x4, and then I started out in the middle, right? So once I drilled the hole through the concrete, then I leveled it, and then I worked my way out or to the edges. So same concept with the other one right here. The hard part is basically over. So what I did is, for the second frame, I went ahead and screwed this temporarily, as you guys can see over here. And then I added the leg, or the frame itself. So now I should be able to unscrew the following from the top as well. And that should automatically detach, and then now I can add the shelving. Okay, so here is, just to kind of give you an idea of what I did here. I used the wooden screws. They are, let me just get them for you real quick. This is the type of screws that I used to build the support for the shelf. I did notice that putting just 2 here is not enough, so I went ahead and kind of doubled the work on this side. I'm sure there's probably better methods, but the same thing here. I went ahead and actually made it flush. Just to kind of give you an idea, if you're just like a one-man person, on how to actually install it. So what I did is I used some of the leftover 2x4s, and that's kind of allowed me to keep it flush and straight into the actual support on the wall. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I did here. So kind of walked you guys through the steps here. I apologize for not showing you the cuts and everything, but basically what I did is the supports, those are about 18 inches long. So give or take from the wall to the edge is about 21 inches of shelving, which is wide enough for what I need it to be. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff that I need to store. So I decided to put it flush just in case I ever decided to add another 2x4 by the wall and kind of give it that extra support. I forgot to record how I cut the plywood. So I got them pre-cut in half. So they're about 24 inches in width. And basically my shelf with the frame is going to be 21 inches. So in order for me to cut that straight line, what I did is basically I had a 2x4, and then after that, now I'm using the scrap from the plywood. But this is kind of like my way of, call it the ghetto way or whatever way you want to call it, to cut that straight line with the circular saw. So last shelf, and then we're ready to call it. All right, guys, so pretty much we are finished up. All I need to do is really screw the plywood, but to be honest with you, they fit in such tight that I might not even have to screw them in. But I just want to show you kind of the product or the tools that I used. Of course, this is brought to you by Thor's Machinery. This is a top-of-the-line drill. I highly recommend you guys to use it. I used it to drill through the concrete, and I also used it for the screws, but I know some of you like to use the impact. Here's the type of screws that I used and the sizes. I used a 3-inch for shelving screws, anchors, and then I used one 5/8 to help with the actual support that you see at the bottom. So highly recommend the 3-inch, and then have this also. And then also for the concrete, to fasten the walls on the concrete walls, I used a 1/4-inch, 3 1/4 inch long anchors, concrete screw anchors. Really good product. And of course I use this to stain the frame, as you guys can see here. And then of course right here, this is what I used in case you guys want to use the same color. Now for the plywood, I'm not going to leave it untreated like this. I might just put a clear coat to protect it and last a long time, but I do love this contrast. And just kind of let me show you what the overall product looks like. So the width of the shelves is about 21 inch in total, and the spacing, to be honest with you, I needed them really long, so I have about a total of 25 inches apart from each other.